With how many different types of boss fights we've seen over the many decades of gaming, those with transformations still continue to be incredibly relevant. Sure, they may end up prolonging fights, but at least they look super cool, or downright terrifying depending on who you're fighting. Let's take a look at 14 insane transformations for bosses here. Spoilers follow, so be warned. Yami, Okami. The battle with Amaterasu's archenemy Yami plays out over 5 different phases. Yami's first form is akin to a sphere with an intricate glowing red design that can lash out with tendrils and launch missiles. Its second form takes on a greenish appearance, which segregates into platforms and can use fire to attack. Hilariously, it becomes a kind of slot machine for its third phase, while its fourth form is a yellow sphere that has legs and arms. All of this culminates in a giant claw extending from the sphere while the arena is covered in darkness, missiles, and lasers. IZANAMI, Persona 4 Golden. Persona 4 Golden's epic journey ends with a battle against IZANAMI, who starts out with 3500 HP and killer attacks like Megidolaon, Stagnant Air, and Mind Charge. It eventually morphs into IZANAMI no Okami, which is as elaborate looking as it is grotesque, in a cool way of course. While it may not be a boss marathon like Nyx from Persona 3, IZANAMI is still a pretty extensive fight overall. KARL HEISENBERG, Resident Evil Village.
You're persistent, but I've got a rebellion, so stay out of my way.
Heisenberg's initial appearance is pretty cool, in a gruff and unkempt kind of way, but it's his mutated form that takes the cake. Its central body is a mix of mutated flesh and metal with 2 major limbs sporting buzzsaws. Despite how clunky it all looks, he's capable of killing Ethan very quickly, manifesting a massive whirlwind and lifting him up with ease. Ophion, Returnal. Imbibing a deep-sea cosmic horror vibe, Ophion's initial face resembles certain denizens of Atropos, complete with long, stick-like arms and fingers. Its second phase sees the head replaced with a human-like skull, as if calling the creature's human nature to mind. But it's the last phase where things somewhat come full circle as its head transforms into the White Shadow, the astronaut constantly haunting Celine throughout her ordeals. ISHMELGA, The Legend of Heroes Trails of Cold Steel 4. ISHMELGA, the Ebon Knight, starts out as an imposing mech that, despite being outnumbered 3-1, puts up a tough fight. After the earthen prison is used, ISHMELGA Logue is created. You have ISHMELGA's central mech form in the center, except much larger, which one party must fight, the ogre side with a red twisted visage that another party must face, and the aura side, where a third party battles a dragon-like being with a peacock-looking head. It's weird, but still incredibly epic. Final boss, Ending E, NIER Replicant version 1.2247448739. Upon unlocking Ending D, the base experience for NIER Replicant comes to a close. However, version 1.2247448739 adds a brand new ending and postgame where players control Kaine as she ventures into the Forest of Myth and battles the mysterious Administrator twins. She then enters a fight against corrupted versions of previous foes, as the Replicant system recreates Gretel and Hook as bosses. A pretty trippy experience overall, but at least NIER, Kaine, and Emil are united at long last. OTAKEMARU, Nioh 2: The First Samurai. OTAKEMARU capped off Nioh 2's base story in epic fashion, bringing 3 phases of true pain and suffering. Also, swords. Lots of swords. You'd expect him to be just a bit more reserved in the First Samurai DLC since it's his past incarnation. But in the first battle itself, OTAKEMARU is busting out 3 swords and looking for trouble. Things become even more heated in the second fight when he transforms into Nightmare Bringer, fusing with a guardian spirit to gain 4 legs, a larger presence, and much more threatening attacks. Lao, Xenoblade Chronicles X. The final encounter in Xenoblade Chronicles X is quite the ride. You first battle Luxar in his Skell with multiple other bosses coming in to help. After a series of twists and turns, Vita, Luxar, and Lao are mutated into the massive final boss, which is just referred to as Lao. Eventually, the party needs to exit their skells to defeat it in an epic encounter. Guardian Ape. Sekiro Shadows Die Twice. By this point in Sekiro Shadows Die Twice, you've faced Genichiro and bested the owl, so what's a large ape really going to do? Well, the Guardian Ape answered this by leaping and haphazardly attacking all over the place with unmatched aggression. And just when you think it's all over upon lopping off its head, it comes back to life thanks to the centipede in its body, using its own head to inflict terror. Things don't even end there, as the Guardian Ape must be fought again in its lair alongside its mate. Shara Ishvalda. Monster Hunter World Iceborne. Of the many new monsters in Iceborne, Shara Ishvalda is undoubtedly one of the more unique Elder Dragons. Its body is covered in boulders, and its attacks are slow but powerful due to its bulky frame. Once the rocks are off, it looks like a newly formed Elder Dragon, whose googly-like eyes belie its incredible power. Not only are its wings like veritable claws, but can also use them to unleash powerful energy blasts, including a massive spirit bomb of sorts. Karen Travers, Scarlet Nexus. Attempting to explain Karen Travers' existence would take a while, but the final battle against him is pretty crazy as well. He starts out in a relatively normal human state, teleporting around, creating copies, and just being a nuisance. But then he manifests something entirely insane in his second phase. 4 giant beings that surround the arena and bombard players with attacks. Eventually, Karen reverts to his human form and receives a long overdue beating. Invader King, Metal Slug 6. Located deep underground, the Invader King is seemingly resting inside a flesh-covered dome of sorts. Deal enough damage, and the dome cracks, with the king seemingly dead, until its eyes flash and it fully emerges, shooting deadly projectiles and lasers. Eventually, its head casing cracks, and the player starts falling, with the Invader King chasing after, still raining down projectiles. Upon defeat, it falls to its final death. Sigma, Mega Man X3. Using Sigma in any boss list is almost like cheating. The Mavericks had way too many forms in the main series. His multitude of phases in Mega Man X4 is often noted, but even the battle with him in Mega Man X3 was nuts at the time. First, starting off in his regular form with a shield and buster, Sigma's head is eventually transplanted into a massive battlesuit with lasers and rockets. And just when that seems to be the end, his head goes all wireframe, and you have to escape from rising lava while evading it. Senator Armstrong, Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance.
Let's go! The hell are you thinking? Played college ball, you know. That's some cushy Ivy League school.
Though not the craziest transformation, it was still pretty nuts to see Stephen Armstrong, a regular suit-wearing presidential candidate, suddenly become super buff and nigh indestructible thanks to nanomachines. These nanomachines emanated from his modified heart and could cover any part of Armstrong's body for incredible defense and damage. Even with all of his insanity, Armstrong still stands out as one of the most memorable antagonists in the series. So, what are your thoughts on this? Go ahead and share them in the comments below. And if you liked this video, please subscribe to the channel and enable all notifications by clicking the bell icon to get new video updates. We upload every day and would really appreciate your support. Thanks for watching.